Hello and welcome to official Xbox 360 Magazine's OXM report, and this week we're talking to one of the producers of Shift 2 Unleashed, potentially one of the most exhilarating and terrifying racing games coming out this year. Okay, so I'm here with Jesse Abney, who's a producer on Shift 2 Unleashed. Now, I've had a few goes on the game. These cars are lively.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all part of the driver battle, the experience, the follow-on to the proposition, the true driver experience in Shift 1, with the help of the helmet cam, putting the player behind the visor, in the seat of the driver, really playing up the whole experience, physiological, emotional driver battle that exists moment to moment in the grid, moment to moment against yourself as you're hurling down the straights at 150 miles an hour and heading into a corner in absolute darkness during our night race. It's all part and parcel with the whole driver battle experience.
So obviously Patrick Soderlund works for EA and is also a racing driver, and he's featured in the game. What kind of input has he been able to provide?
Well, he, along with a whole assortment of multidisciplinary racers who are all representatives from Team Need for Speed, have actually been part of a crew that have been engaged early and often in the design process of not only that helmet cam view, but also in the overall race day atmosphere, both day and night, that Shift 2 is playing up as part of our core design. It was really in getting an authentic experience from the damage to the cars that occur from just constant jostling to the debris that litters the track and the actual degradation of the condition of the track as the event wears on. And the wear to the car is very evident when you watch a lot of these races. And so we're really just portraying that through a number of cinematic camera VFX devices in Shift 2, which have actually just been progressed and refined and improved upon by SMS, really as a follow-on from Shift 1, and really just to further immerse the player in an authentic racing experience, which we think separates Shift 2 from the simulations in the same space, as well as the arcade racers who really have simplified approaches to the fun of racing. Shift 2 is all about that authentic driver's seat action from their point of view.
And we've seen drift for the first time today. Tell me what you guys have for guys who are fans of drifting.
Well, once again, it's a refinement and a progression to the approach that Shift presented. It was a direct relationship with Vaughn Gittin Jr., Darren McNamara out of MCN Motorsport, who worked with us day to day on drift and actually building tutorials, building introduction videos, and Vaughn Gittin Jr., who took the Formula Drift Championship and the affiliation with Team Need for Speed there to help us kind of improve upon the experience for the player, both in the selection of cars and the retro machines, which are so popular in the drift community, all fully works modifiable like the rest of the cars in Shift 2. These cars are iconic in the drift community, from the first E30 platform BMW to things like the RX-7 FDS. These cars are purpose-built, engine suspension swappable and fully tunable, tested and then saved templates for drifting, drift tutorials, a wide open drift practice track, and again a bunch of content, tutorial type presentation from Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Darren McNamara.
And for the guys who are maybe more traditional motorsport fans, you've got the FIA GT championships in there. How closely were you working with the FIA to realise that?
Well, part of the Team Need for Speed tenet this year was to participate in the GT3. So Patrick Soderlund and a team from Schubert Motorsports participated in the BMW Z4. They did really well, placed third, and so their participation was inherent with the whole schedule of the FIA GT3. As it rolled on, we really took cues from them, integrated the cars from the FIA GT1 and GT3 into the game, and really worked with them on the licensing aspects as well as building that experience into the career structure. So not only is FIA there, but there's 7 different motorsport disciplines represented in our career structure that the player can experience, and that reflects a bit of the variation in the car list as well. Over 120 select vehicles that we're talking about today, and those vehicles all represent pieces of those individual disciplines as described with drift. GT3, GT1 are examples of where we have car classes and vehicle types and manufacturers which represent the core of those motorsport cultures.
I noticed there's the Seacrest County Police Reventon, a bit of a nod to our boys at Criterion.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the Lamborghini's big in FIA GT as well, and we have special liveries, we have special surprises that you've just nodded on. So, examples of things like integration of Autolog this year is now Need for Speed DNA, and so Autolog, like we've all learned about in Hot Pursuit, is now being implemented in Shift 2. It's, a perfect marriage with a simulation-style track-based racing game, which has a much deeper, more complex level of data accumulation and data presentation for players in that genre of track-based competition. And so the Autolog now allows us to communicate with users of Hot Pursuit. People who buy Shift are incentivized. Things like cars that you may have raced in Hot Pursuit are now raceable in Shift 2, and certainly aspects like that we can play up in a whole new way. And so we're pretty excited about the marriage of Autolog as a core brand feature that players are going to experience in a number of different flavors, from HP as an example of arcade implementation to Shift 2 as an example of authentic racing implementation.